Hello everyone, my name's Shannon. I teach all the classes here at Embodied Art Studio. I would like to share some beginner painting tips with you today, if that's okay with you. I think I have a lot of secrets to uncover here, and I have a little assistant here today to help me as well. So I think what we're going to do today is we're going to teach you some gradient blending tips for those of you who are just starting to paint and want beautiful, colorful gradients that are nice and smooth on your canvas. So are we ready to teach them, Tila? I think so. Let's get to it. So first of all, before we get started, what is a gradient? That would be nice to know, right? A gradient is a smooth transition from one color to the next. So to be able to do this, we'll have to talk about the technique of blending. So that is the main technique I will show you in my demonstration today. Okay, so I'm gonna start painting on my canvas here. I'm gonna go for a linear gradient. I'm gonna start out with my purple and I'm going to move to, I'm thinking I'm gonna go purple, blue, to my green down at the bottom. So the first thing I want to show everyone is what blending does not look like. Having two colors like gradually come together is just a crazy concept in itself. So I see a lot of this where they're being really gentle and then they, stop there, and that's okay. But what we have is we have too hard of an edge. Going once or twice over both the colors might kind of push the two colors together, but I still see a hard edge. I think so. Right, so we could do a little bit more work with that. So what we need to do is we need to do a little bit more repetition of the brush. So I'm about to hand over my secret tips for blending that are no longer secret now. So my secret tips for blending are, one of them is repetition. Right, so notice I'm going back and forth a couple times. You have to do this, right? You have to go back and forth. There needs to be repetition for these two colors to mold together. And notice how I'm traveling. I would say that that's another tip too, like traveling between the two colors. I'm not just going over that seam line, as I like to call it. I'm going into the purple with my repetitive strokes, and then I'm going back into the blue. And then I also say pressure. I've noticed that if I'm having like a day, let's say, and I'm just feeling a little aggressive, if I push too hard, it might honestly just kind of like scrape the paint right off the canvas. You notice you can see some of the white in the canvas there. So I think pressure creates like a nice softness to it. So I'm actually going pretty light with my brush, and then also using the body of the brush. Notice how I'm using the whole body of the brush and not the tip of the brush. That will scrape the paint off the canvas too. Right, notice right here where we can see the canvas. So using the body of the brush also allows me to get more surface area as well. So you have more surface area, you have more of that body of the brush to massage those two colors together. Okay, so I think that looks good in terms of blending. Repetition, traveling between the two colors, pressure, using the body of the brush. Right, so I did a lot of movement between the two. So now I want to add more blue. Oh, and do not forget, the paint has to be wet. That's not even like a tip, like that is a rule of thumb. The paint must be wet. Must be wet, or else they're not going to be massaged together. You're going to be like forcing the blue to be friends with the purple, and the purple is going to be like, no, like, I do not want to be friends with you. Okay, so now I can actually move my brush both ways now. Add some more of this blue. And get to a point where I want to have some green. This kind of looks like, I tell my students, like, this is so like toothpaste color, don't you think? Not to take away from the beauty of it, like it is so beautiful, but I don't know, just toothpaste comes to mind. It's just like so minty fresh. Anyways, so now I'm gonna blend these two colors together, right? We're gonna go with those tips again. Movement between the two colors, light pressure of the brush, repetition, repetition, back and forth, and I'm using the whole body of the brush. This time I'm actually kind of like flipping the brush back and forth to show you like that's totally okay. All right, until there's no longer any hard edge between these two colors. That's when you know that you've blended these two different colors together. And I kind of like those moments where it's like a little bit streaky, like these kind of moments in here where it feels like the blue and the green are kind of like having a couple of moments where they're clearly separate, but like they're still like gradually blended together, right? So you get like kind of those streaky moments. Like that seems really beautiful to me. So don't worry about it being like super perfect. So now I'm gonna finish it off with this green. Beautiful gradients. What colors would you use? And this is just one type of gradient. This is a linear gradient, so I'm blending like a straight line from the purple down to the green. You could do a diagonal, you could do radial, where you start with the green in the middle and move out towards the purple. So just one direction for you here, but know that there are several types of different gradients that maybe I'll get to demonstrate in another video. But before I go, I would like to put things into context. Yes, I like to put things into context, so like, you know, why am I doing this? It kind of answers that question, right? So doing this can be great for sunsets. I think that's like the best example. Sunsets blend gradually. They are gradients, so knowing how to do this can help you paint a beautiful sunset. Or maybe if you're more in the abstract realm, and you want, you know, a sign or some designs in front of it, this is just a really great way to start a painting as well. If you have like no idea where to begin, you want to get your hand moving and your hand is telling you want to blend some colors together, this is wonderful for that. So I hope you guys enjoyed and join me for my next fun uncovering of some beginning acrylic tips I have for you.